Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Boomer, and today we're going to do another pickups video. This time it's mostly sports games, just typical American sports and some extreme sports, but also a bunch of random GameCube games, and I finally got a 3DS, so let's check that out. Here's something I need to mention though. The games that I'm showing here, although I am giving a brief summary of it, I will potentially use one of these or some of these games as review material in the future. So yeah, you might see these games in the future in my future reviews. So just saying that. Now let's get on to the games. Now I'm going to categorize some of the sports games that I have, and then I'll move on to the other random games that I have. So, yeah, let's move on to the obvious one. The big game just happened this Sunday, Super Bowl, obviously. I didn't see it, honestly. I was at Disneyland. Yeah, I was at Disneyland, so didn't see it. Well, okay, I eventually saw some clips of it off my television because my dad recorded it. Anyway. I have two games, two football-related games here. This one's for the Sega Dreamcast. Sega Sports NFL 2K1. For its time, it does look kind of nice. I guess, I mean, there are other games that, even before NES age, there was Techno Super Bowl where you could play real football players, if I do believe, in a real football team. But this, graphically for the time being, it does look nice, I guess, but this was right when the PS2 just came out, so, yeah. It certainly hasn't aged well. I'm not really too big on sports games, I'm just gonna lay that out right now, but, this is an okay game, I guess. Graphics are okay, gameplay's okay. So yeah, I found this for $1 at a bookstore. They practically gave it to me. So yeah, not too many recommendations for this. Now, finally moving on to EA Sports. We're gonna see this a lot. Madden 2008. I actually do remember buying one of the Madden games for the PS2. I think it was this one or 2007. I'm not sure, but this one I do remember. Besides playing this, I also remember playing this with a friend a few times. Of course, graphically it beats the Sega Dreamcast version. Gameplay it beats the Sega Dreamcast game. I mean, it's a different developer too. I haven't really played that many Madden games, but I know they release year after year after year. They're either taking away some things or adding on to more things. I gotta say though, the game itself is okay. I was kind of enjoying this. Again, gameplay, it's okay. You can actually throw the ball at certain prompts, like the other Sega Dreamcast game. Yeah, it hasn't really changed that much. Although I didn't really check out the other modes, like I think you can create your own character in this. So if you see this in a value bin, maybe get it, or if there's any better games in there. Alright, the only soccer game I have here is FIFA Streets 2. Once again, another EA game. Big EA. Okay. I gotta say, wow. Just, like, wow. Even though I only played one mode and maybe two games, I gotta say, this game was actually pretty fucking fun. And I could see, it being a lot more fun if I had a second person here, if I could play it online, but gameplay-wise, it's fairly simple. Button layout, controls are very simple. Yeah, it's a simple soccer game. Alright, it's a soccer game. I wouldn't call it simple because I haven't really played that many soccer games, but or football to any European or pretty much anybody else in the world who's watching this. But yeah, I gotta say I was enjoying this a lot. I eventually, if you've seen the footage, I did score a goal. And yeah, I was having fun with this. fast-paced gameplay. Graphically, it's okay. Music, it's a licensed soundtrack. What do you expect? Like like all these sports games. Well, most of them. So yeah, I also own another FIFA game. Maybe I might actually play it after playing this because I was enjoying this. So yeah, if you haven't played any FIFA one or FIFA game, and if you see this around, get it. It's pretty good. It's pretty freaking good. Let's move on to basketball. This is the most out of the one group of sports games, or whatever you want to call it. Here is Sega Sports NBA 2K1. This was made by I'm pretty sure this was made by the same people who made this. I bought these in the same store. Again, a dollar each. Again, graphically, I guess it looks kind of nice for its time, but yes, it's aged poorly. So yeah, subpar. I guess I would call it average graphics for the Dreamcast. Control-wise, I think it just seems like I think it's okay. It's not too special. A lot of these games, a lot of the basketball games, seem very similar, even though these games are made by different developers. They kind of follow the same formula. But on this game, it's okay. Nothing too special. All right. Now on to, most of these are EA except for the very last one. NBA Live 2003. This is actually kind of special. It doesn't just come with the game, but also comes with the soundtrack to the game. It's actually kind of cool. I don't usually see games actually coming with the soundtrack unless it's like a special edition or Club Nintendo actually giving something out, i.e. Smash Brothers soundtrack. Graphically, it looks okay for the PS2. Gameplay, I did think the controls were okay. Again, simple controls, nothing too new about it compared to the other games. So yeah. And 4 years later, NBA Live 2007. It's the same. Like, I'm pretty sure they added more modes into this. I only shot maybe about 5 or 10 minutes of footage for each game that I'm showing you here, but I guess it looks a little bit better, but that's about it, you know? I'm sure maybe they added more modes and more stuff to do, but again, it just seems a lot the same. Alright, now NBA 08's The Live V3. This was not made by EA. This was made by, I'm assuming, Sony Computer Entertainment. Again, gameplay-wise, I think it feels a little more sluggish than the EA games. I don't know. That's just me, though. Maybe someone else. Graphically, it looks a little bit better than the other games they've showed you. Again, there's probably more modes into this, and they were going for realism with this. I'm pretty sure they were, but unfortunately for gameplay, it kind of takes it away. So, like I said, it's a little bit more sluggish. So, yeah. My personal favorite out of all these, I guess, would be NBA 2013, but that's just me. Alright, moving on to more sports.
39 times a year ago. Swings and lines this one towards the hole.
Baseball. We only have 2 games here, and they were not made by EA, surprisingly. Major League Baseball 2K5, powered by ESPN, which I guess has the commentary for people who work at ESPN at the time. Baseball games. I've actually played this game with a friend years and years ago, but again, graphically it looks okay. Gameplay, I was actually kind of enjoying this. I'm pretty sure there's better baseball games out there, but I don't know. I was actually liking it. It's fairly simple. Controls, it's fairly simple. That's about it for I can say. So yeah, if you see a baseball game, pick this up. Well, if you see a baseball game that's fairly cheap, pick this up. Alright, Now, the other baseball game that I have here is NBA 08 The Show. Once again, this was made by Sony. I'm pretty sure they were going for realism with this, and unfortunately, again, it feels slightly sluggish. I don't know. I was more enjoying this game. I was more enjoying this game than this game. Although it feels a lot the same, maybe just a little bit slower. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Either way, though, this game is okay. Nothing too special about it. Graphically, it just looks a little bit better. But either way, in comparison to this, a little bit slower, better graphics, and the gameplay is about the same. So yeah. Alright, now time for Extreme Sports. We have two Sega Dream... Well, okay, one of them isn't exactly Extreme Sports, but I'll just get this out of the way. WF, or WW, or WW, whatever the fuck. WF Attitude. Get it? Yeah, I get it. This game's a fucking piece of garbage. Holy shit, this game sucks. First off, controlling your character, you have to use the fucking D-pad. The fucking D-pad on a Sega Dreamcast controller. They couldn't use the fucking analog stick. Secondly, fighting people, oh my god, it feels so clunky and so goddamn sluggish. Just, And also, it's fairly freaking delayed. Hitting buttons is pretty freaking delayed. And graphically, I mean, I know Dreamcast games ages are pretty much as... I know Dreamcast graphics are as old as 10-year-old milk. I guess that's what you could call it. But this game looks pretty bad for the Dreamcast, honestly. So yeah, for the love of God, do not pick up this game. I was stupid enough to do so, and I didn't pay $10 for this, but yeah, just don't. This game sucks. And now time for some other sports games. Well, I guess Extreme Sports. Dave Mirra's, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. This is a Tony Hawk Pro Skater ripoff, or at least the first 3 games. And it shows obviously you're obviously not on a skateboard. You're on a bike, and you have multiple moves to do, and you have things to accomplish. And when you accomplish them, you unlock new levels. And you have famous or semi-famous BMX riders that I guess were relevant for the time. But graphically, it looks okay for the Dreamcast. I will say though that it does feel this game is fun to play, even though it is an obvious ripoff. It's still a fun game to play. So yeah, although it's made by Acclaim, it's because if you know Acclaim, you know they've made some pretty crappy games. Well, not all crappy, but type of games. I think this game's pretty cool. If you see this for a few dollars, pick it up. It's pretty good. All right, now let's finally get on to the well, not just the GameCube games, but the one of the major ones in Extreme Sports, or in the Extreme Sports genre, at least for a short time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Yeah, I personally, the first game I ever played out of the series was Underground, the game after this. But this changed a lot in the series. Besides moving on to other platforms, well, no, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 moved on to the PS2 and the GameCube, and the Xbox. But this one changed the formula. You have bigger worlds, you have a larger soundtrack, you have more characters to play as. I'm not sure if they added the park editor thing. I'm not sure if this was the first one that added in, but I know it has it in there. Also, missions are more an open world. Oh, well, it's already an open world, but you're not timed the entire time, and the levels are bigger too, so it's nice. Yeah, this is a much better improvement than Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, although Pro Skater 3 is a pretty good game too, so yeah, I did enjoy this, and it does deserve that little player's choice thing right there. Although, yeah, this was a fad, and it died out with Tony Hawk's Shred. Still though, I enjoyed it. Alright, now we're finally moving on to other non-sports related stuff. So, yeah, other GameCube games. Let's get to that. Oh yeah, I should mention I did I did get a GameCube for Christmas, and I only have 4 games for it, including Tony Hawk Pro Skater. But yeah, I hope to find other games like Super Monkey Ball, the Resident Evil remake, Wind Waker. So yeah. Alright, so the games that I have. 007 Agent Under Fire. This is a first-person shooter reminiscent to GoldenEye, or I forget what the other one was called on the N64, but yeah, a first-person shooter which has, I'm assuming it has its own story. I'm not fully sure about that, if it's based on one of the books, but I know there isn't a movie called Agent Under Fire, or if it is, then put it in the comments section below. Anyway, though, this game does feel like one of the Bond films. It does have the style, it does have the... I'm not sure what they were trying to go with, a Sean Connery or Roger Moore, but it's, yeah, the Bond that they made in this game is pretty good. So yeah, it's a fun first-person shooter. It also has multiplayer, which I couldn't show off here because I don't have anybody else to play with. I'm so lonely. And also it does have car sections where you just drive around a little open area, and they're okay, you know. It's nothing too special. So yeah, pretty fun game. Check it out if you want to play another first-person Bond game if you played GoldenEye a lot. All right, save that one for last. Soul Calibur 2. Wow. Years and years ago, I actually did play the PS2 version, and I had no idea that was released for other systems like the GameCube or the Xbox, and I didn't know that there were other, you know, exclusive characters on that. But I did play the PS2 version a lot until we lost it. I don't know what happened to it, but I saw this for about $10 and I immediately bought it. And holy crap, this game is fun. A lot of characters to play as, including Link. I haven't unlocked everything. I'm still playing Weapon Master mode. So there's many characters to play as, and yeah, there is Link in this version, obviously, on the cover right there. I did mention Weapons Master mode, which is where you unlock a bunch of stuff, or a bunch of the characters, new modes, new weapons. And yeah, this is a pretty solid fighting game. Check this game. If you haven't played this already, check it out. I haven't played any of the other Soul Calibur games. Well, I did play Soul Calibur 3 once, but that's about it. Anyway, check this game out. This is a really good game. Alright, now time to move on to the last game I have here, Luigi's Mansion. And yeah, I was trying to do stereotypical Italian voice, but well, Luigi's Mansion. It was a launch title for the GameCube, and yeah, it did strike a little bit of not controversy, but like flack, because, well, what do you expect from a launch title for a Nintendo system? A Mario game. And technically this is a Mario game, but it's a spin-off. But it doesn't play as a Mario game. It's definitely something different for Nintendo. You play as Luigi, and you have to save Mario from this haunted mansion that he apparently got in he won in a contest that he didn't enter. So he has to save Mario from the ghosts, and yeah, that's about it. You suck up ghosts with your vacuum cleaner. Sense. Anyway, you get a lot of cash, and that's about it. The game actually looks really good for its time, and I'm not gonna call it the best looking GameCube game because it was a launch title, and I don't really have that much experience with the GameCube besides maybe about 10 years ago. But control-wise, you do have to get used to the controls, but the game is meant to be for you to get used with the GameCube controller and use every single button, and it works out pretty well. And I do like how they added more character to Luigi than just making him the second player, you know. So overall, get this game if you haven't played it already. It's a really good game. And there is also a sequel for the 3DS, but I haven't played it yet, and I don't know, looks interesting. Alright, now moving on to the last two games, but I should mention 3DS. I finally got one. Yes, my other Christmas gift was a 3DS, and it's a pretty cool handheld. I do think it's better than the PS Vita, and I do own a PS Vita too. And a lot of great games are on this thing. And although when it came out for launch, I know it did have a sort of sucky launch. A bunch of crappy games came out for it. Well, not all crappy games, but yeah, really awesome handheld. And I know the new 3DS I'm not sure if it came out already or not, but I have seen some people in Japan, in the Power region, having it already. So anyway, if you don't have a new handheld, please get this. This thing's pretty freaking sweet. But the 3D doesn't really work that well, and I know the new 3DS makes the 3D a little bit better. Also having a C-stick, and you can play Xenogears Saga, I think. Alright, let's move on to the games. Unfortunately, I don't have a capture card for this thing yet. If anybody could direct me to a capture card website or something like that, that would be nice. Comment section below. Super Mario 3D Land. Yeah, this is basically what if you put a lot of the old Mario tropes into a 3D Mario game, add a little bit of nostalgia to it by putting some power-ups back into it, including the Tanuki suit, and making it 3D and on a handheld, you get Super Mario 3D Land. Nothing really new with this game. Just yeah, it's a nice little 3D platformer, but they don't really add anything new to this unless you count the boomerang suit or the propeller box. Well, now the propeller box, I think they had it. I think it's like the propeller suit from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I did enjoy this, but yeah, I know World has a lot more stuff in it. But if you don't have a platformer on this thing, get it. It's pretty cool. And the other game I bought. This admittingly took me a little while to find, because at the time I bought this, it was sold out everywhere. And if you're going after 3DS or Wii U, you gotta get this game. Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. I have a club at my school devoted to this game, and not just all the versions of Smash, except we rarely play the N64 version. Anyway, this game is really, really, really fucking fun. It's an extremely simple fighter. Mainly you just use A for light attacks and B for your special attacks. And you have a lot of characters to play as, a lot of areas to go, and a lot of Nintendo characters, and for this game's sake, you have some Sega and Namco characters in this too. Graphically, it does look very nice for the 3DS. And playing this online, unfortunately, it sucks badly. But yeah, local play is completely fine. It's not that bad. There isn't any lag for local play. Just for online, unfortunately, if one person has a shitty connection, yeah. So yeah, it's a very simple fighting game, but a very, very, very enjoyable fighting game. There's so many trophies to unlock. The Smash Run thing is pretty sweet too. And also you can put your own Mii make your own Mii into one of the characters, or make your Mii fight into this game. If you want to know my main is, my main is Captain Falcon, but I am branching out to other characters too. I'm also playing as Mr. Game & Watch and Rob right now, but also playing a little bit of Samus too. But anyway, if you don't have it already, please get this. This game is extremely fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys still want me to do this, put it in the comment section below. I do need to mention a certain other YouTuber gave me a shout out in one of his previous videos, and I'll give him a shout back. Miles Eric Prower. He used to do a lot of Sonic videos, but he was kind of on a hiatus now. But now he's doing a lot of Mario Kart 7 stuff. He's shooting it directly from his 3DS. He doesn't have a capture card, but still, check it out if you want. Guy's pretty cool, and yeah. Shout out to you, Eric, and yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and see ya.